It's time for the Super Bowl. And, some are lucky enough to have attended a Super Bowl, and some are lucky and talented enough to have played in a Super Bowl or two. Well, Max Montoya has done just that with the Bengals. He is here with us to talk about the big game, the present Bengals team, and football in general. And with him is his daughter, Allison. Full disclosure, Allison and I are colleagues at Fox 19, but wanted to bring her into this conversation as well. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to be here.
First of all, give us an update on what you're doing now, and then we'll kind of talk about how you got to Cincinnati in the first place. So what are you doing now?
Well, now, as soon as I retired in '94 from the NFL, I got into the Penn Station East Coast business. So I've been doing that for the past 24 years, however long it's been now. But we're doing that. I'm semi-retired. We're right now in South Carolina, enjoying the sunshine. So we do that, and we golf, and I'm semi-retired and still working a little bit.
That's not a bad place to be semi-retired, that's for sure. So coming to the Bengals, coming out of UCLA, did you have any sense that the Bengals were going to be the team that picked you? Had they had any talks with you before the draft?
Not really. To be honest with you, Dallas Cowboys, Seattle Seahawks were very interested, got a lot of calls and other information from them guys. They came out to check me out and test me and all that business. But the Bengals, lucky enough for me, really, was one of my coaches from UCLA the year before went to the Cincinnati Bengals as a special teams coach. And Frank Gans was his name. And I guess he's the one who put a word in for me when they were drafting. So that's how I ended up a Bengal.
And the rest, as they say, is history. So, you weren't here all that long. The Bengals go to the Super Bowl after the Freezer Bowl. Did you think, oh, well, this is going to happen like every year? This is like, regular stuff.
It was my third year in '82. I came here in '79. And I really didn't. When you're young and you're just fighting for the day, and living to live the next day. So when the first Super Bowl came around, we had a pretty good team. And you're so young and wide-eyed and everything, you really don't think that's going to happen because it's difficult to get to the Super Bowl and then to win a Super Bowl. So yeah, I never really had that feeling.
So of course, the second Super Bowl team came around, and you guys were hot stuff. There were songs, there were posters, everything. Allison, you were just a kid then. Did you have any idea what your dad did and, why everybody wanted to come up and have a picture with him and get his autograph?
I knew we were a little different, but my mom and dad, they've done such a tremendous job keeping our lives normal. I was 6 years old when they went to Super Bowl 23 down in Miami. I do remember, though, bits and pieces. You know how you have that photographic memory. And I remember being in the hotel room, just having so much fun. My parents always made it, it should have been just about my dad and, bringing home that championship and that ring. But they really made it about us, too, because we had so much fun. But I do remember those final moments, though, in Super Bowl 23 and my twin brother going, "Mommy, we're not going to win, are we?" And I still have chills. I'm 38 years old. I hate to say my age here, but, I still remember that moment, but honestly, like throughout our lives, they've kept it real and real normal. So people always wanted to get my dad's autograph, during dinner time or something. So I knew my dad was pretty special.
I was going to say, did you think that was special, or did you think that everybody wanted to get anybody's dad's autograph?
I don't know. I was like, should I get his autograph? You're just so young. But I do remember, though, with Super Bowl 23, I knew it was so big when the camera crews came after my mom, my brother, and I at breakfast before the game. And I dove under the table. I was like, what is this stuff? So we really lived normal lives, but Super Bowl time, it was amped up exponentially.
Absolutely. Max, is Super Bowl a good week for you, or is it bittersweet? I mean, does it bring back good memories like Allison was talking about, or is it kind of bittersweet?
It really does bring back good memories that we were fortunate enough to play in the Super Bowl twice with the Bengals. Of course, the ending's never good, but yeah, it does. It like I said earlier, it's just so difficult to get to the Super Bowl. And here you have Kansas City going back-to-back Super Bowls with the young. young, great quarterback. But yeah, it's the only game in town. It's almost like Monday Night Football used to be. You were the only game that night, and everybody's watching. It was pretty cool.
Of course, you finished your career back out west with the Raiders, who were in LA then. But you came back here. Why did you decide to come back here?
Yeah, when I signed with the Raiders back in, I guess it was 1990, we thought, we're going back home. Parents and everybody gets to watch play and be a part of the thing, like Allison said, be part of this great experience in the NFL. We put up our house for sale, actually, the first couple of weeks, and we got out there and it just wasn't the same when we left in 79 or 80, whenever that was. It had changed quite a bit. And although LA is beautiful and it's great, but it's so crowded and crazy and everything else. But we just thought it's a nice living back here in Cincinnati. It's a different way of life, and we wanted that for our kids.
Well, and I think that, Allison, maybe you were too young to realize what that would mean, but, there were so many of the Bengals during that time that stayed here. Munoz, he could have gone back home to SoCal, and he didn't. So many of those guys stayed here. Allison, you talked about how your parents really kept it real and kept you grounded. Do you think that was part of staying here in Cincinnati?
I really do think so. This is home. This, even though LA is a second home, this is home. This is where I was born. And LA is so big. I probably wouldn't have been able to flourish like I have. I'm working in the news business with you, able to live in a nice neighborhood. Maybe I could have done that in LA, but this is home. It kept me grounded. I know these are my roots, and, I'm able to do a lot more here than probably out in LA. And we'd probably be sitting in traffic right now if we were still out there. But this, like my dad said, this place is home. It just people come back always. A lot of the players are here, so that's neat to see.
Yeah, and I think that this city embraced you guys, because you were winners, you were successful, but also embraced you in retirement because of that, because you chose to stay here, because you chose to make it your home. And I think that, those of us who grew up here certainly appreciate that. But, your Bengals roots run deep. Allison's strutting her Bengals stuff here. She's all geared up.
Super Bowl here. We got
Max, how about you? I mean, how much are you involved, and how do you keep in touch with the Bengals now?
The guys in the 80s, both Super Bowls are very tight. And when you go through something like that, a season like that, and you reach the pinnacle and you're so close to the world championship, you really develop great ties with your guys. And it's the same way with the Raiders. I've got the offensive line, and we all stay in touch, and we see each other at golf tournaments and do different things and so forth. So, and being in Cincinnati, there's like you said, a lot of guys that live here, and for the simple reason is it's a great place to live. It's a great place to raise your family. It's very affordable. So, we all made this our home.
So let us flash forward to the 2020-2021 Bengals. Joe Burrow coming in, and I always compare him, and Max, you can certainly do a better job than I always compare him to a Boomer Esiason swagger. And this is no knock on any of the other quarterbacks who have been with the Bengals, Andy Dalton or any of those. But Boomer had this swagger, and you knew that if you missed a block on the offensive line, you probably heard about it, not only in the huddle, but probably heard about it in the locker room, I have a feeling. And I get that feeling with Joe Burrow, that he is going to expect and demand the best of everybody on that team. Tell me, just looking at Joe and his history, tell me what you think he will mean for the Bengals.
Well, he's a true leader. He in the huddle, of course, he takes control, and he leads by example, most importantly. He's not a big rah-rah, loud type of guy. but he gets things done. He does all the little things. He believes in himself and he believes in his teammates, and that's a big part of it. And he's very talented. I mean, he can place the ball just about anywhere. It's a great touch, but he's such a great student of the game, and I'm sure he works at it because it just doesn't happen. I mean, there's a lot of people that I've seen in 16 years in the NFL that come and go, great athletes, and they don't have all the components. And Joe Burrow has the components as well as the leadership aspect of it. So, when they first drafted him, my whole thought was, please get an offensive line that can protect him. And I would say that every week. And it's difficult because I'm an offensive lineman. But your number one job is to protect the quarterback. I dreaded when my guy touched the quarterback. And that's what you got to have as an offensive lineman. You cannot let him make a tackle. You cannot let your opponent touch the quarterback. So I think if we can get a couple good guys in there to really understand and play hard and whatever it takes, just protect the guy.
And I think we all hope that in the coming season, there will be that kind of change. Allison, what does it mean to have your dad be a Super Bowl player, be a Pro Bowler, really be honored by the Bengals? What does it mean to you?
Gosh, since they did keep everything, in my life real grounded, it means the world that he's been such a tremendous, athlete for so many years in that NFL stage, the highest of highs you can get, and go to the Super Bowl twice. Pretty amazing. But then some days you kind of forget about it because he's just Pops and he's my Pops. He's a grandpa, and we go golf and we go to the beach with them, when we can, and go to the farm and, ride horses and play with them. And so we got two different lives. It's pretty cool in one aspect. And I'm so proud and so honored, to be his daughter and to have that Montoya name, because, wow, I mean, like he said, a young kid coming from La Puente, California to Cincinnati to play in the big leagues, and to do so for so long, 4 Pro Bowls, pretty amazing. So I'm a proud daughter, definitely.
As well, you should be.
And I'm a proud father.
Hey, thanks.
One of my proudest moments was, I forget what year it was, but my son, what was that?
2012.
2012. Allison was working for another station, and she was sent to Indianapolis where the Super Bowl was, and her twin brother, Matthew, was working for NFL Films, and he was sent to Indianapolis to work the Super Bowl. And my proudest moment was watching TV, and both my son and daughter.
Dad. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, we were both there.
Yep.
In Indianapolis. It was the New York Football Giants, New England Patriots, and my twin brother was there. NFL Films, and I was reporting. It came full circle, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah. Pops, we're getting older in our days. Everything gets emotional. It's okay.
Well, you both have a lot to be proud of, that's for sure. I can't let you go without asking, who do you like on Sunday? Max first.
Oh boy, you can't bet against the kid because he's a young, great quarterback. Then again, don't ever bet against Tom Brady.
I know.
It's really a toss-up. Right now, I'm going to probably go with the kid just because he's got youth and he's got some pretty good surrounding players around him. But Tom Brady, like he did against Atlanta, he came back in the second half. You just can't count him out.
That's true. Allison, who you like?
I'm going with Tom Brady and the Buccos by 3. I love Mahomes and I love his, energy, and he wants to win like everyone else. But Tom Brady, he's the GOAT. You got to give it to him. Honestly, I really wanted Drew Brees in the big dance, but that was tough to see another year. But
yeah,
but Tom Brady, that's what I'm going with.
Yeah. You're right. It's tough to bet against the GOAT. Well, however it turns out, the Montoyers are winners in the Super Bowl and in life.
Very blessed. Very
Thank you
blessed.
both for reminiscing a little bit. I'm glad that I could bring together this little family reunion. Allison, I'll see you at the station. And Max, thank you so much for your time. Best of health, best of luck to you. Hit them straight when you get out there on the course.
There you go.
And enjoy the nice weather. It's not going to warm up here for a while, so enjoy it.
Well, thank you. Great to see you.
All right. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
That's you. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.